points on the list. Live in the hills, but it still get a spread. Started with a little, but it still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel that's a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we need to talk about oil. I have a huge warning. There was a couple of things that happened today, and it really might set off another wave, and we got to talk about it. But now, besides oil, tomorrow you are getting Jerome Powell, Fed Harkert, Fed Bullard, Kashkari, Evans, and then I think Loretta Mester as well too, but you're getting 6 different Fed speakers. That will be key. We got a little analysis and breakdown, but now there was a lot of different things that played out today, and really it made this like bounce drop thing a little bit more confusing. If you didn't notice, today the NASDAQ was down 1%, S&P was still negative, but then the Dow somehow managed a way to go green. This has to do with oil, but if you take a look, we spent 7 hours today to do absolutely nothing. Again, imagine the bounce on Friday and people were excited, 4%, yeah, woo, buy the dip, the bottom, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, don't listen to them, but essentially, you got a little bit of steam, but today was very shaky. So, we got to talk about it. There was a couple of things. Again, it relates to oil, it relates to data, and now all eyes are on Powell tomorrow, but don't get it twisted. I mean, we're not done with this volatility. We are still in the middle of it. So we got a lot to talk about. I'm going to go over the plays. I got a couple for tomorrow. I got 2 theories. We're going to talk about oil. Then we're going to talk about Powell. And then what do we expect for the rest of the week? So drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/thestockmarket. It's there. It's below. And I'm going to change shirts. I want to wear this one. I look good. I like it, but you're going to see too much nipple action. Please hold. All right, we good now, baby, but as far as what happened today, I really think we need to start there because you got soft economic data that usually doesn't affect things, but this morning, it kind of got people feeling a little bit weird. It was the Empire Fed manufacturing data, and this thing came in 8 standard deviations below, 8 sigmas. I don't even know how to describe this to you. It was a very, very bad miss. Again, a lot of people brought up, oh, well, the market doesn't react to this, and I can agree with that, but remember what we said last week, hard data, soft data, any economic data, everybody and their mom is going to start looking into it, but this one was bad. It was a 2 out of 3 month signaling contraction. People did not like that, and then on top of it, we woke up this morning with China posting some of the worst economic data since COVID in 2020. Now, this was because of their lockdowns. Yes, some people did expect it, but it was overall just bad, and that's kind of what put us in this back and forth. Now, we did get to hear from some Fed speakers in the morning. It wasn't anything too crazy. There was a bunch of headlines there with Elon and Twitter and all of that, and then on top of it, the 13 Fs came in throughout the day, a lot after hours, and we got some movements. I'm hoping we see more of a reaction tomorrow after Powell, but now pretty much all that data is coming in, and really it didn't cause much. The volume was really low today. It was a little suspicious, and now this is what leads me to be looking at oil and Powell tomorrow. And now this was the final news. It was like middle of the day today. It was right here around oil. We got updates on a plan from China to start easing out of lockdown. They pretty much said in stages every couple of weeks starting June 1st, they're going to slowly reopen the economy, assuming, again, this can change, that none of the COVID spread continues to go crazy. So, right when that happened, oil kept going up. But remember, last week, I was telling you guys, I was like, I think we may get oil moving a little bit, and then it got absolutely clapped. But now, it's continuing up. Crude broke. And now, here's the big thing. This is the big warning I'm here to tell you, and we're going to dive deeper into it. But quite simply, we saw this today. The spread between WTI crude and Brent, it almost disappeared. So, if you remember, a couple months ago, I was showing you guys this, and it was like, what, anywhere from like $4 to $7 difference between WTI and Brent. Today, it's only a couple of cents, and now this is weird, and I really think oil is snitching on something. Now, we could talk about what that could be, but let's focus on this stuff right in front of us and why we need to watch oil. And if you're not understanding this, what I'm trying to tell you is that by the end of this week, maybe maybe next week, oil might hit another high, or it could pretty much reestablish this higher price regime. Again, people were calming down when it was going down, but the fact it's back up, remember, this has a lot of implications for earnings, inflation, and everything else in between. But now, what can we expect? We did hear last week that Pelosi is going to try to do some price control bill, so maybe this week that could affect it. Remember, a week or two ago, they leaked the plans that the U.S. will be buying back for the strategic reserves, and now on top of it, here's the final thing, and this is what I want you to really see. It's not like it's news or an event, but we've brought this up a lot, and you see it today. Oil had the ability to distort the market today. Pretty much tech got clapped, financials got clapped. There was a couple of consumer staples that did good, but take a look. Dow Jones is positive. SPY is red, but not by a big margin. But then you got tech stocks. There's some names down 5-6%. Again, Michael Burry shorted Apple. We got that off the 13F. But what you're seeing, this is the market being distorted. Why? Because energy was the leader today. Here's my question to you. If energy was not up 3% today, where do you think the SPY and Dow would be right now, even the NASDAQ? So keep all of that in mind, but now it's kind of showing we got a light week here. Yes, Powell tomorrow is going to be important. We got a bunch of data. Don't forget, tomorrow you're getting retail sales and housing data. Both of those things, especially after watching the Empire Fed, those will be key. But besides that, it's kind of a soft week. And now, if oil and commodities start going crazy, well, that may start gearing up for the next phase of FANG 2.0. So pay attention, because you even saw wheat go crazy, corn, oil, all of this. This is starting to become in focus now. And really, if we do get higher than 140 on Brent, or even oil gets past like 130 WTI, it could be very bad, because essentially higher commodities go, higher food goes, higher energy. Everybody is going to talk about inflation, the Fed, and it may just really just start another vicious cycle all over again. So hopefully it chills out. Obviously, there could be days where the market in oil can go up, so we will see what happens. But there is that, and now, what do we got for Powell tomorrow? So Powell is speaking tomorrow. You do got Bullard before the market opens, and you're going to get another 4 other speakers after Powell. But simply, what are we looking for with Powell? If he doesn't say anything new, remember, Friday or Thursday, he said a hard landing or soft landing is going to be hard to do and outside of their control. He said his main focus is getting inflation under control. And then he said that bringing inflation under control will require some pain. All of that is very, very hawkish, but let's see, because if he doesn't say anything new from that, pretty much I could see a bullish reaction. I know I've been kind of like bullish tilted lately just because it's been such bad carnage, but like I'm saying, the market has already adjusted to a lot. Powell is not going to sound dovish in any way. This is what people are talking about. They're saying as of late, Powell has really just been a dove in hawk's clothing. He talks hawkish, but all anybody cares about is what is he actually going to do when the FOMC's there? Is he actually going to raise it? Is he actually going to slow down the balance sheet? That is what we care about. So pretty much everything he's going to say tomorrow, it will sound very hawkish. But if it's not new and stays in line with everything we've heard, we should get a bullish reaction. But now, if he gives an update to balance sheet reduction, if he talks about mortgage-backed securities, I think we heard from somebody today and they brought it up. But those two things, if he brings up more detail, or if he even throws in even by mistake, somehow throws the 3/4, the 75 basis point rate hike on there, then we are going to have a problem. So those are really what it's going to be. It's going to be simple. Again, we don't know what Powell is going to say, but it's simple. If it's new, chances are it'll hurt the market. If it's not new, even if it sounds bad, it may actually end up being good. So we'll see, because some people are saying the days of bad news being good, they said it's gone. So we're going to find out. But that is tomorrow. Again, Bullard in the morning could have an effect, so we will see what happens. But as far as the plays, I got 3 that I'm looking at for tomorrow. We even made a couple today. I grabbed a Boeing daily. We'll talk about that one. I grabbed a Target weekly. I'm saying daily, but we have the whole week. It's just a weekly, but I mean, they're pretty much daily. It's super risky. So be careful with that. Again, I'm keeping these small. I'm talking like $13 plays. Literally the price of a #1 at Chick-fil-A with pepper jack cheese, a Diet lemonade, and extra Chick-fil-A sauce, please. Okay, that's about $13. So that's how much I'm spending on some of these options. But I did that, and then I opened up another NASDAQ future short. That one, you could call it a sacrifice. I was down 300 bucks, ended up coming down, but this time I did decide to hold it. So we'll see what happens. But as far as everything else, I am definitely going to be looking at oil plays. So that's the first one. I really like this one, OVV. And this one, the reason why I like it is simply Michael Burry bought it, and it's an energy company. So he's been going back and forth with this, but this showed up on his SC13. I thought it was a very interesting company. Again, it's tied to Fang 2.0, everything going on. I thought it could be decent, but now the option chain, if you want to get some time on it, I mean, it's really expensive, very illiquid and difficult to play. If anything, I might want to go with shares on this, but I'm going to keep my eye on it. I'm not fully sold just yet. And why? I like all the oil plays, but they are very expensive. Again, if you remember when I made that short play on oil, this one right here, we're up on it now today, and that's great. But remember, right after I bought it, it got clapped. I was early once again, and this one hurt. I was down like 2-3 grand. Again, this is why I like some of these plays where I'm like, well, I kind of have a better mid or long-term view. That's why it's like I didn't need to cut it out. It's like I'm still pretty bullish on oil, but that one came down and then it started moving up, and you could see we got the game. But now let's look at some of the options. I bought an Oxy play around the same time we got that future. That one's up 60% today. And then if you remember the ConocoPhillips, only one of the contracts that we bought legitimately in like January, February, that's one of the only names that is actually down. The average down is up 30%. We brought the Conocos up yesterday. The premiums are still expensive. So I want oil, but even Kinder Morgan started to run up. All of these cheap plays, it is just difficult. That's why I've been going with the futures and trying to find a way to reduce the premium. So gonna be watching oil, but it really depends on the prices. Again, with it elevated and so many eyes on it, don't force it, because that's where it gets a little bit more difficult to play. But that is the first play. Coming into the second play now, Boeing. I made this daily play. I grabbed the May 20th 100, literally spent $13 for one of them, but this was on the news that it was like China Southern, one of the biggest Chinese airlines, that they are canceling over 100 max deliveries. So this came out. It wasn't like the news last week, but I said, hey, we got a whole week of time. It's cheap. If we get any negative activity, and just look at where Boeing is, I think it's at a pretty good level for even pops and drops. So I was like, all right, let's run it. But I'm definitely going to be watching that the rest of this week. And then finally, watch the banks tomorrow. Citi is going crazy after hours. And why? Warren Buffett bet on them. So they're 13F. Warren Buffett decided to go with Citi. He cut out of Wells Fargo completely. He even cut out of Abivi completely. Goodbye, goodbye. He sold 400 million Ab. We didn't watch you, Buffett. But anyways, all of that was happening again with Powell and everything. If we could get good even data like retail sales, maybe it wakes up the banks. But right next to tech being down today, banks were down. And again, that is going to be the industry. If anything that's doing bad is really going to have a turnaround story, it's probably going to be the banks, but that's going to depend there on the consumer, stagflation worries, and all of that. But I am definitely going to be watching those tomorrow. So keep your eyes out for that. I also did make a Coinbase play today. Which one did I grab? I grabbed the May $2,700 calls. Grab one of those at $50. And then we also played a Target weekly, May 20th, 252. I bought that one for 50 bucks as well. Pre-earnings run up. We will see what happens. But again, keeping it small. If I'm not going small, I'm making sure I'm not paying too much premium, aka going after the futures, oil, and all of that stuff. And then just don't forget about Fang 2.0, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't noticed, wheat is up. We're up 20% on the shares. The original option is still up 400%. You're seeing oil break out. And like I said, higher oil prices is going to start a new discussion in a new cycle. So really, Powell's going to be important from here. Watch out for Fang 2.0 with the peripheral. See what happens, but we'll find out by the end of this week. And if oil starts to go crazy, I wouldn't be surprised for the market to start getting a little bit worried. And well, we'll see what happens, but that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure Hydrate Healthy ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to remember, baby, it's all about time management. Everybody is born with 24 hours. What you do with it and what separates it, it's time. So let's go, baby. I'm gonna see you in the morning. Get hyped. It's Powell Day. It's pretty much a holiday. And drink water. No yellow pee, okay? Okay, good. This is not weird. It's weird if you make it weird, okay? Okay, goodbye.